Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. It's a beautiful day here in Wrightwood, California. Today's our annual classic car show in town, so our family and I are going to be heading over there in a little bit to check out all the cool cars. But I really, as you can see, no makeup. I mean, I don't wear a lot of makeup anyway, but no makeup. Not really ready for the day yet, but I just felt this overwhelming urge to get on here and talk to you guys a little bit about what's going on with the economy and the recession that everyone is suddenly talking about. I was actually talking to a client yesterday who is making an offer on a property, and she was a little bit nervous because of all this talk about a recession. She wanted to know, what's this going to do to the value of this house when I buy it? Is this a mistake? And rightfully so, because the last recession we went through in 2008, houses lost an average of about 19.7% value. That's scary. And that is what is in most people's minds as far as when you hear recession, you think of 2008, and that was horrible. So many people lost homes. However, that is not the kind of recession we're looking at this time. Typically, in a recession, it's part of the normal financial cycle, right? So we have a recession, and we have a recovery period, and then we have another recession and a recovery period. It's pretty common. We've had one in 1980 and into 1981. We went through another one in 1991. We went through another one in 2001. And then we had the big borderline depression, if you ask me, in 2008, which is the one that was caused by the housing crisis. Now, what's important to remember about the one in 2008 is that was a direct cause was the housing market. Mortgage lenders were making crazy loans to people who weren't qualified. Housing prices had skyrocketed right before, so we had that big bubble, and then we had a lot of people who were up to their eyeballs in mortgage debt. People were refinancing and taking money out of the house, and so all of that led to a housing crisis where we lost a ton of homes in foreclosure, and then the economy dropped as a direct result of what was going on in the housing market. That is not what's happening now. The recession that we're looking at now is related to other factors in the economy that are not related to the housing market. What's crazy is out of the last 5 recessions we've had, so 1980, 81, 91, 2001, and 2008, 3 out of 5, housing prices actually increased. In 1980, they went up over 6.5%. In 1981, they went over 3%. 1991, they actually dropped about 1%, a little over 1%. That one had more to do with the housing market at the time. 2001, houses went up over 6%. And then, of course, 2008 was when everything crashed as far as housing goes. So what does that mean for you if you're looking at buying or selling in the next 18 months is when they're thinking we might see a recession? That actually means it's a good time to invest in real estate. The indicators are showing that it's not necessarily going to affect home prices directly because the factors aren't there like they were in 2008. So if the pattern follows that home prices are actually going to increase during the recession, why do you think that happens? Why do you think that happens? If it's not directly caused by the housing market, homes are a safe investment. Homes typically appreciate over time, right? It's one of the safest investments you can make historically. So in times where other investments are shaky because we're in a recession, houses are still safe and stable. So that is why typically home prices increase. So I just wanted to share, like I said, it was really heavy on my mind. I was thinking about my buyer and her concerns, and I know that there's a lot of you out there who are also concerned. So we are seeing more of a normal market in Wrightwood and, the surrounding areas. Things are kind of stabilizing. Prices are stabilizing. Consumer confidence is actually good. We're starting to see an increase in mortgage loan applications, which is a sign that there's more buyer confidence than there has been previously. Interest rates are still very, very low. They're at about 3.77%, which is all good news for the housing market. So I just want to, share a little bit about what's going on, assuage some fears. My biggest tips right now are to hold on to your money. Don't do anything stupid as far as refinancing. Invest in safer investments, and just don't be stupid. Like, don't make silly purchases, you know, that aren't necessary, and don't refinance your house so that you have no equity. Just don't do that. Don't do that. All right? We're going to be okay. This is part of the normal economic cycle. I know a lot of people legitimately have trauma over what happened in 2008, but we are not looking at the same situation today. So try not to panic. It's all going to be all right. Don't worry about it. All right? Does anybody have any questions? I've got a few people in. If anybody has any questions, you can ask them now. Hi, Jen. Hi, Denise. Hi, Margot. Who else is here? Ron. Hi, Ron. Yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. You can always ask in the comments. I'll post this so that it stays up. And then if you have any questions, I'll answer them in the comments. All right? Have a great Saturday, you guys. If you're in the Southern California area, you should totally come up today. It's going to be a beautiful day. Like I said at the beginning, we're doing our Wrightwood Classic Car Show today. My family and I are going to go check it out here in just a little bit. All right? So I'm going to pop off. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask, or you can always email me, text me, call me. However you want to get a hold of me is fine, all right? Everybody have a great day. I'll see you soon. Oh, Margot, good question. Okay, so when interest rates will probably stay down, honestly, because the last thing the government wants to do is to discourage people to keep their money moving. So we are seeing a situation now where interest rates now are quite a bit lower than they were leading up to the 2008 recession. They were pretty high at that time. I mean, relatively. They were still below historical averages, but they were not nearly as low as they are now. So one of the concerns some people are raising as far as this coming recession is that interest rates are already so low, there's not a lot more room to bring them down further. I'm not hearing anyone say that they think interest rates are going to go up necessarily, but just that as things start to tighten up in the economy, there isn't as much room to artificially inflate the economy and make things happen again by lowering interest rates, which was a big reason why we started to go into a recovery period after the last recession, was because they dropped the interest rates so low. Like I've told people before, it was kind of an artificial low because it was strictly to boost the housing market was why they dropped them that low. And then we have seen them come back down again as a way of trying to keep consumer confidence high. And for a while, even though the interest rates were kind of lowering, it took a little bit for people to start feeling like they were confident again. So I don't anticipate that. I'm not a financial guru. I'm just based on what I'm reading and hearing and listening to. That seems to be the case. I don't anticipate them going up during a recession because that just doesn't make sense as far as economic policy goes. Hi, Aubrey. Hi, Anna. Hi. I think they're a little tired of talking about housing and mortgage rates, but you know, it is Saturday morning. I don't know. I was all fired up this morning, but yeah, that was a good question, Margot. Like I said, I try really hard to stay on top of all this stuff and pay attention to what's going on. So I'm not an expert, but I am I try to stay very informed with this stuff. So if you have any questions, let me know. All right. Have a great Saturday. Bye, you guys.